And welcome. This is another episode of Midrock Crisis. I think with the black and white video behind me, I'm really digging into the past. Well, I guess maybe I am. This is from the 60s, and a band called Quicksilver, Messenger Service, formed in 1965. They were part of the San Francisco psychedelic movement that included Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Sly and the Family Stone, and the Charlatans. The band's name is taken from Hermetic magic. Hermes is the Greek name for Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Quicksilver is another name for Mercury, also an element. Dino Valenti organized the group with far-reaching ideas, but then got arrested for possession of a controlled substance. He spent the next 2 years in jail. Drummer Greg Elmore, guitarist Gary Duncan, bassist David Freiberg, and guitarist John Cipollina and guitarist Jim Murray all decided to go ahead with plans, and Quicksilver was a go. And then Murray left in '67. In June, they were featured at John Phillips' Monterey Pop Festival, along with some of the biggest bands in the world. Performance put them on the map. They toured up and down the West Coast. Owsley Stanley recorded the live shows, just as he did for the Grateful Dead. Quicksilver signed with Capitol. In '68, the album Quicksilver Messenger Service was released, and it was followed almost immediately by Happy Trails, a mostly live album, acclaimed as a pure example of the West Coast sound. With its fluid dual guitar improvisation, Cipollina's Gibson E3 had an extra long neck. You luthiers out there might be curious about that. The Bo Diddley song, Who Do You Love, was covered and extended to a particularly trippy jam. Second side continued the journey into the Wild West, hot and dry and sinister as a rattlesnake necklace charm. After this album was released, Gary Duncan left the band due to his abuse of opiates and amphetamines. Burnout. Freiberg lamented the loss, as Duncan was the heart of the band. Nick Gravenites of Big Brother, who produced Quicksilver Messenger Service's first album, joined Cipollina for an overseas tour. In 1982, former members of Jefferson Airplane and Big Brother toured as the Dinosaurs. No sales, and the label bailed. Sadly, smoking and emphysema caught up with Cipollina at age 49. He was absolutely one of the most innovative lead guitarists of the decade. Rolling Stone magazine ranked him 32 on their list of greatest of all time. His Fender Twin Reverb amp, complete with trumpet and trombone bells, resides prominently in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I saw it. It's cool. In '94, Nicky Hopkins died from Crohn's disease. Dino Valenti had brain surgery and also died in '94. Duncan and Freiberg reformed for a 40th anniversary tour and are still active. Here's the albums. In '68, Quicksilver Messenger Service. Ron McKernan would have been a huge plus as a frontman, I'm thinking. Dino's song is immaculate, and Gold and Silver tops it. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. In '69, Happy Trails. I must have heard this album 100 times, and I never get tired of it. It was recorded at both Fillmore's East and West John Cipollina and Gary Duncan, are a superb guitar duo. What they do with their guitars has never been done or heard before or since. Bo Diddley's songs Who Do You Love and Mona take up 2/3 of the album. This is Muy Caliente, classic Quicksilver. And the album was ranked 189 of the greatest albums of all time. And the cover is pretty cool too. I don't mean the cover of the song. I always mix that up. When I say cover, I'm talking about covering somebody's song, obviously. When I mistake and say cover, I'm talking about sleeve art. And what I meant was the sleeve art is very nice. It's taken from a painting. I believe it's an acrylic painting. And it just glows. Just glows. 1969, Shady Grove. Odd competition between Hopkins and Cipollina. This is Nicky Hopkins, who joined the band for a short time. And the sleeve art for this is nice, but they're missing Duncan. Edward the Mad Shirt Grinder is the highlight. It's all jazzy, funerary dirge for the summer of love, if you will. 1970, Just for Love. Except for Cobra, this is Dino Valenti's album. Did I mention that he got out of jail and he came back and joined the band? Okay, boys, let's get started now. Fresh Air was a successful single, but Cobra was genius. It harkens to Happy Days. Dino has a nice voice. He hits the notes, but his timbre is excruciating, and his affectations are really equally annoying, my opinion. 1970, What About Me? Local color, Cipollina slide, more Dino. His real name, by the way, is Chet Powers Jr. 1971, Quicksilver with no Cipollina. And when there's no Cipollina, there's no Quicksilver. In 72, Coming Through, Chuck Steaks. 75, Solid Silver, meh. Summer of Love, 1967, Free Love, Drugs Everywhere. What's different than now? Oh, the free love thing, yeah. And the drugs have changed. Some of them are legal in a lot of states. I'm for this, of course. I don't use myself, but I'm okay with anybody who wants to smoke a little, eat a little. It's the white powder that bothers me, because it's taking so many away from us. Yeah, I've tried that shit. I don't think it's that good a high. I never tried heroin. You tell me that's a pretty damn good high. But don't use that shit. It's like you get addicted and you're done. You're just done. And now with all these opioids available, people snorting opioids, dying in groves, who am I going to get to watch my videos? Hope you keep coming back. Thanks very much for being here. Subscribe, please, and hit like.